was like a superhero on that run.
Hey, DJ Mosky, let's get it. We the champions here in Los Angeles. We doing numbers. Bringing home victory straight out the huddle. I'm at the plug, introduced to my brother. My squad superior, ain't none above us. We doing numbers. Gang in the building, we taking it over. Call the promoters. I just put up in this thing with my soldiers. I blew it and I'm still. Last minute I'ma need me some. Call up Khalifa. Bring the in the. You know I stay with some bad little baby. TGOD baby, know that's a gang gang. Crazy girls after the game. We throwing hundreds, we going insane. Pouring this. Yeah, homies got me pouring this. We get awards, but we give God the glory. I'm shooting my shot, and most times I be scoring. Do this for my city, I bring on the trophy. Feel like Freddie Mercury, we the champions. Here in Los Angeles, we doing numbers. Bringing home victory straight out the huddle. I'm at the plug, introduced to my brother. My squad superior, ain't none above us. We doing numbers. Gang in the building, we taking it over.
Feeling like I can't miss. Baby, it's all in the wrist. You really wanna be the boss, it's expensive. Ain't the real champ if you never defend it. Put in that work, I'ma make them remember. I just broke.
It's Madden NFL 23 on EA Sports. And we'll see Jameis Winston.
Folks, it is always a celebration here in New Orleans, and we are just outside of the Hoppin' French Quarter at the Caesars Superdome. Today, we've got an NFC South matchup between the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, they come in at 15-0, one win short of a perfect regular season.
And it's something we've only seen a couple of times. Miami in 1972, New England in 2007. We know they're not going to mail it in. They're going to go for it.
Here's the former Utah Ute, Matt Gay, to get this one started. And we are underway from the Superdome. Fields it right around the goal line. Oh, a good return up past the 30. Past midfield. 30. 10. 5. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. So how about that? You want to talk about coming into a hostile environment and just silencing the crowd. They just did it.
Couldn't be a better start. There's no way. All week long, they've talked about having this type of a start, but I think they looked at it from the offensive team's perspective. You know, get the opening kickoff. You guys control the ball. A lot of people are now going to say, okay, now your offense, will they be out of whack? No, not at all. They're going to be absolutely happy. They're relaxed. They took care of business for them. They don't have any pressure now. They can just go play.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
And he's had a great season so far throwing the football. Very likely could go over 4,000 yards with a good performance here. And even in an age of passing first, that is no small accomplishment.
Jameis going to look to throw right away. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. These two teams, you might recall, met back in mid-season, Week 8 to be exact. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Winston. And that is incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fielded at the 33. A nice return that time of about 14 yards. And it will be Falcon football. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll have a former Heisman Trophy winner calling the shots, hailing from the island of Oahu in Hawaii, Marcus Mariota.
And he just continues to throw touchdown pass after touchdown pass, leading the league here down the final stretch of the year. Guys will say that the numbers and the rankings, they don't matter to him very much, but I don't know how much I actually believe that. Sure, he's team first, but I think everyone would like to see him finish #1, including himself.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Simply not much more you can ask out of your running back. Over 100 yards and the 3 touchdowns.
And for an old coot like me, I loved it because he did it on the ground. A running back taking control of the game. That's what I like to see.
Hold on. An old coot?
Coot, C-O-O-T.
All right, I'll look that up later. Mariota's throw taken in by London. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Mariota to throw it. That's going to be caught by Pitts. Touchdown, Falcons. Kyle Pitts with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Falcons go up by 2 touchdowns. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stop it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. They got it done.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Well, this defense for the Falcons, they were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number? 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
To throw again on second down. Winston. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Deion Jones has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Well, partners, the first quarter, too early to start talking about needing a comeback. They're down 2 touchdowns already, and that sack, that disrupts this drive. They need something to go right on offense, and they need it to happen soon.
So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all 3 phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick 6.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the second quarter.
Extra point by Koo up and... And it's now 21-0.
Falcons 21, Saints nothing. Youngway Koo to kick off for Atlanta.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And we see James. He will now return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The New Orleans offense set to take over. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. To be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Escaping the pressure right. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, Winston. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's Tommy Townsend now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. It's taken to the 26. And he's loose again. Touchdown, Falcons. All told, it's a punt return of 74 yards. And the Falcons are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, what a game for him. He hits for the return cycle, so to speak. He had the kick return. Now the harder part just got the punt return for a touchdown. And I would imagine that the special teams coach, as the ball left the punter's foot, he was thinking, should have kicked away from him. Yeah. Should have kicked away from him. He's in a groove, and sometimes you hit those grooves through those zones in a game, and he's in one now. He's in perfect sync with his teammates blocking, and he knows how to find the end zone. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. And we see James. He will now return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Jameis to throw it. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Working out of the gun, Winston. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, obviously searching for their first touchdown this game, partner. That quick 3 and out, that's not going to achieve that at all. Give victory to the secondary there. They brought out tight coverage on that third down snap.
That's taken on the 25. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. An impressive 75-yard punt return. And the Falcons open the lead up to 34-0.
That's the second touchdown return of the game. And yes, we're only in the first quarter.
How about that for a start? So he's on pace for 8. You think he gets there?
I don't see how. But right now, he's got to like what he's getting done.
Yeah, he likes it. His team loving it. Koo able to connect on the extra point. And that makes this 35-0 now. Well, it's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. So plenty of fireworks here early. 35-0 now as the kick is away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Winston. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. I think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder.
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm is going forward, incomplete pass. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. Again, it's Kamara. Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Winston. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Falcons are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. Well, we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position #1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things, but winning the division is paramount. You're right. They won't step off the gas here.
1st and 10. Here's Mariota. He'll rifle this one deep right side. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. A give right side now to Hunt. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down for Atlanta. Well, that is a running back who was not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
Yeah, and this defense has had its share of problems getting guys to the ground. And here's another example. They never should have allowed this play to gain as many yards as it did. But poor tackling early in the play led to big yardage after the fact.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Well, this is a defense that's definitely on their heels now because they gave up the running play for good yardage one play ago. Now the pass here sets this offense up 1st and goal. They're going to have to dig in strong now because they've been in retreat so far in this drive. This offense on the march.
From the gun, Mariota. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
3rd and goal, Mariota. This to Pitts, and he's got him. Touchdown, Atlanta. Kyle Pitts with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Falcons continue to pull away here in this 1st half. And, Charles, they continue to have trouble stopping him as he's into the end zone yet again.
Yeah, that's multiple series now that have ended with him in the end zone. A perfect plan on how to utilize him best when they get in close.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the route is on here in this 1st half. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And we see James, he will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the Plague did on the last one.
Arnold Ebiketie gets there for the stop. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Winston now. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. To throw, Winston. And that will be incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
Taken from just outside the 30. Trucks over him. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Atlanta now coming out on the field. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the...
And that is caught at the 10-yard line. Touchdown, Falcons. Marcus Mariota with his 3rd touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Falcons have got it on cruise control. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big stroke like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. 1-play drive and into the end zone for 6. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
At the 35-yard line.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Now Winston. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
It's 2nd down and 10.
To the air again with Winston. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. If they want it first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Devon Hamilton in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it will be 4th down. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this won't get there, won't be on line either. It's no good, off to the right, and they will remain well behind.
And now 2 problems as I see it. First, you missed the kick, which granted was a long one. But second, you set the other guys up with great field position and enough time to maybe get downfield and get a field goal attempt of their own.
Time to get another look at Drake London and the Falcons offense. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep a touchdown. Kyle Pitts on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Falcons will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, they'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And the Saints going to go on offense one final time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again, 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Winston. Got a man, that's Richie James. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Winston now to throw on first down. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. They'll throw again. Winston. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete. So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. And it's the Bears who have the lead. DJ Chark, a touchdown reception. From there, we fly north to Cleveland to check on the Browns at home at First Energy Stadium. And you can see there it's the visiting Colts who have the lead in that one. Baker Mayfield has thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, let's get down to Miami to see what's going on with the Dolphins. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting New England Patriots. Jalen Waddle, a touchdown reception. Next, a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Falcons. And they've had plenty of success throwing the football so far this afternoon, as they're on pace to throw for over 300 yards if their form holds. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they weren't quite as successful throwing the ball as their counterparts were, but they still were able to move the ball reasonably well in that first half. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. And the Saints set to go here to begin the third quarter. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot. Pretty unlikely, but you just have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
No gain on the play there, second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Winston. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing, Winston. And that is incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. Officially, it'll be a 68-yard punt return score. And the Falcons just continue to roll.
All right, count him along with me. That's his 3rd return for a touchdown in this game. Why is the ball being kicked to him? That would be my question.
I was just going to ask you the same question because we see 2 occasionally. I mean, very rare. 3, unbelievable. Now Younghoe Koo for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Well, we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6.
Younghoe Koo to kick off for Atlanta.
So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. To throw is Winston. And that is incomplete.
Second in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. And taken right on the 30. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. A 1st down throw for Mariota. Caught by Jones. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Mariota now. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Edwards. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild. And here's another completion for good yardage.
Working out of the gun, Mariota. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Marvin Jones from 8 yards out, and the Falcons are pouring it on. Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent. And they flowed into this game, and it carried over. And right now, I don't expect them to back off at all. They're playing so well, they just want to keep it going.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Saints nothing.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And we see James, he will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The New Orleans offense set to take over. Well, the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook. The bottom line is, don't quit competing.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8.
They run it again with Kamara. And he powers his way up past the 30.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Winston. He'll get this underneath to Funk. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Winston to give. It's Kamara. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. This defense tough to run against, and those linebackers, they'll go side to side up the field, and there they get them for no gain.
If you can't get linemen upfield to the second level to occupy them, they have a field day just running to the football and putting ball carriers on the ground. Not many yards after contact when they wrap up like that.
2nd and 10. A 10th carry for Kamara. And he'll get about 3 out of that up to the 39-yard line. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Back to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not... Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Fielded at the 20. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. 1st down, Mariota. Open man is Edwards. He's got it. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. And some room to run now. Past the 20, 10, 5, and he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. the Falcons are closing in on that 16-0 record as they add on to their lead.
I know I should keep the focus and the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for this defense all game long. I can't set that aside. We just saw it again here. Missed tackles leads to his long touchdown run.
Koo for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. Moving the book at them. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This is 3rd and 11. They're going to look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Here comes the Saints punter now as he's on to kick it away. Taking it about the 36. And there he goes again. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. He returns the punt 64 yards on the score. And the Falcons continue to run up the score. They lead it big here in the 4th. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny. I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like 1 possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best.
And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Coup now for the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
A run there on first down going nowhere as he stopped right at the 25. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Jameis to throw it. And he is going to lose yardage here. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Well, his completion percentage continues to rise with that one, but sometimes you want your completion percentage to go down. Maybe you should have thought about throwing that one away.
I was just going to say, it is easier said than done, but that's where you maybe bury it at his feet, make sure he doesn't catch it.
Great call right there. Put it near the receiver, no grounding, nothing like that, but no one gets a chance to pick it off either.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Talk about two sides of the ball at cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front seven, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
Here comes the Saints punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. It's fielded at the 45. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And this offense is going to be set up with a 1st and 10 inside the 15. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people were, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to excel.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That was a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throw left side complete to Troutman. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Winston. Incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
3rd and short yardage. Winston. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 33. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And it will be Falcon football. On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. Shreds him with a stiff arm. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 98 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. For a lot of people, MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. It's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him. Over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game too.
Mariota on 1st down. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Pass interference. Defense.
So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points.
That penalty is declined.
Now Younghoe Koo for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. 1 play, 2 plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And we see James. He will now return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while. But everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Winston. And that will be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. This offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. And some space here. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Another touchdown here in the 4th quarter. And Charles, consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball and sometimes even your special teams. And that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Koo for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And we see James, he will now return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here where we stand right now. This one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
Let's go ahead and put check marks by it all, partner. No points. Down by 4 touchdowns. Haven't had anything going today on offense. Why not add a late sack to the mix? Obviously a day to forget for all involved. Let's give plenty of credit to this defensive effort. They've been excellent from start to finish.
So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Casey Hayward. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And guys, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Handoff up the middle, Hunt. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. They run again with Hunt. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Koo now for the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. They had the short field and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And we see James, he will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
One last shot now for Winston. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them, play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
So not just a blowout win for them today, Charles, but a shutout blowout win as well. Clearly just a superior effort on both sides of the ball.
Hey, didn't it feel like you get a touchdown, you get a touchdown, and then the defense jumped up and said, hold it, we're getting involved as well. You're exactly right. Big points, both sides contributing, a full team win.
So for the Falcons, they have indeed reached a perfect 16-0, but now still one game remains before they join the 07 Pats and the 72 Dolphins as the only teams to finish a regular season unbeaten.
Some true stories to tell. You're back outside, but they still lie. Whoa, yeah. Take off the foo-foo, take off the cloud chase, take off the Wi-Fi, take off the money phone, take off the car loan, take off the flex and the white loss, take off the weird jewelry. I'ma take 10 steps, then I'm taking off top 5. Take off the fabricated streams and the microwave memes. It's a real world outside. Take off your idols, take off the runway, take off the Cairo. Take off the Sandro pay, 5 days stay, take off for the meal, hella follow. Take off the fuck flag, take off perception, take off the cop with the iPad. Take off the allure, take off the unsure, take off decisions I had. Take off the fake deep, take off the fake woke, take off the I'm broke, I care. Take off the gossip, take off the new logic that if I'm rich, I'm real. Take off the Chanel, take off the Doja, take off the Birkin bag. Take all that designer off and what do you have? You ugly. You out of pocket. 2 ATMs, you stepping to what? You out of pocket. Who you think they talk about? Talk about us. You out of pocket. Who you think they copy up for us? Get back in pocket. The world in a panic, the women is stranded, the men on the run. The profits abandoned, the law take advantage. The market is crashing, the industry wants to sleep in the box while they making a mockery following us. This ain't Monopoly, watching for love. This ain't monogamy, y'all getting jumping on what the hell is that? I gotta relax when I feel. All my descendants, they come in my sleep and say I am too real. I'm done with the sensitive, taking it personal. Done with the black and the white, the wrong and the right. You hoping for change and miracles. I know the feelings that came with burial cries. You ugly. You out of pocket. 2 ATMs, you stepping to what? You out of pocket.
Who you think they talk about? Talk about us. You out of pocket. Who you think they carry out for us? Serving up a look, dancing in a drop. Hello to the big step, but never lose a count. Venting in the sand.